Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today, I'm super excited to be hosting one of our super awesome rockstar customers who is absolutely crushing it with online courses. Hope is the director of and co-founder of the iNLP Center, and she is doing very well with creating and selling courses online. Hope, thank you for taking the time to join us this morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
About me or about my business?
About yourself.
Okay, so my background is all design, graphic design. I ended up kind of going, as most designers need to do, move into the web platform, all of that, which blends really nicely because with our online school, I ended up building it all from scratch, WordPress, using different plugins, all of that, and so I can both, plus a background in marketing as well, I can kind of do that whole side. So I kind of run our I guess, production, web, all of that. Basically everything. I don't train, so I do all of the kind of behind the scenes work in our business. My husband does the all the kind of the front stuff, the training and all of that.
Cool. So I have to be kind of honest here, and I had no idea what neuro-linguistic programming was. So I did what most people do, and I Googled it. And so from what I gather, it's kind of like hacking your brain in order to reprogram it and achieve certain goals. Is that
Pretty
am I on
darn
the right
close?
track there?
Yeah, that's pretty darn close. Basically, it's thinking models. So kind of like formulas. So like in math, you have formulas to solve problems. Neurolinguistic programming would be formulas to change your thought patterns, things like that, to be more productive, to solve problems, essentially, right? To be more successful, to have better relationships, all of those types of things, motivate yourself, achieve your goals, all of that. And so it's basically just understanding the steps of certain thought processes that get you there. And it's modeled after successful people who have achieved things. Okay, what do they do? Like what goes through their mind when a person's losing weight, when they're trying to lose weight? How are they successful? Okay, what are those steps? Now let's turn that into a formula and teach other people those things. So that's basically in a nutshell what neurolinguistic programming is.
That's pretty cool. So what got you interested in NLP, or what led up to you doing that? I mean,
well, my husband's a retired psychotherapist, and he's
okay.
been an NLP trainer. He got in really, really early in it. He's been training others for about 30 years overseas and all of that. And when Fukushima hit, he was going to Japan about a month and a half a year. So when Fukushima hit there, he decided to stop going to Japan because it wasn't safe that year. And I said, well, you've written all your certification programs, all of that. Let's just turn that into an online school instead. And it had never been done before. And so I said, we can do it. So we did it. We built out the courses, and that's what we did in 2011. We started building iNLP Center.
Okay, cool. So before your online courses, were you guys doing like in classroom training,
Yeah.
or how was that? How did that work?
That's how everything has always been in NLP.
Okay.
We were the first ones ever to bring it into an online format. We had a lot of resistance. That was one of the big things, was convincing people that it's a viable way to learn it and to train it. And so we did everything, and we continue to do everything we can to create an in-person environment, but in the online platform. And so, we have our live trainings. We just, everything we feel, oh, we should add this, and we just keep growing it and growing it. But we are the top online training center for that field.
Wow. So, okay. So you guys pioneered that. So I assume like all of the experience that you guys got like during those in-person course training courses, that all that experience, did all that kind of culminate and lead to you developing your online courses? Did that help?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, we train students also to teach it, to do their online trainings in their local areas. But our whole platform is straight online, and it all came from training it in person. And, my husband, I didn't know anything about it when we started this. So actually, in all the videos, all the training videos that I'm in, that we build all these training videos, I have no idea about it. And it's very good because I don't know. And so I'm like an actual client he'd be working with,
Absolutely.
And so they're really authentic that way, which is why, even though they're years old, we don't want to change them, because they're really good for that reason. They don't feel canned, so,
Yeah, it's interesting. Nate and I, we had launched a course way back in 2011, 2012, something like that. And it's funny because we were developing a course about a course that we were taking. So like we were actually in the midst of taking an online training course, and we just got so excited about it. We kind of joined forces and we started developing our own course on that particular subject. So it's interesting. You can be a student while you're actually being a teacher. I mean, because that's kind of the best way to learn, is just teaching. It's the best way to learn.
As long as you don't steal their content, it's fair.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the indications that your online course is successful is that your students are achieving personal success. So what are some of the key factors in your online courses that you would consider like the driving force for your student success?
I think it's the way that we teach it. So NLP, in that field, there's a lot of magic kind of stuff, and our real focus of our training is real grounded, down to earth training. It's not this magical thing, and we don't teach it that way. We really want to teach real skills. Just because it's like hypnosis. Oh, I can stop smoking after one session with somebody. No, you have to really want to stop smoking, right? So it takes work on that person as well. It's not some magical thing. And so our students generally appreciate the fact that we really teach it in two sides of it. We teach the personal development side and we teach the coaching side. How do you work with others? How do you work with yourself? And basically a person could never go through our training without having significant change in themselves, because as they're learning all the material, all the techniques and tools and models, they're applying it to themselves in all of these assignments. And then they're also working with others in all of these assignments as well. So it's kind of a twofold approach that I think that's a big part of why it's successful, as well as not learning in a box. And that's the big thing about online training. And plenty of online trainings suck. I mean, that's the truth, right?
That's
they just
very true. Absolutely.
You take it. I won't say what names, but you take it, and their $400 supposedly program is like $19, right? So it's not created the way we have the way we've created our program is really has so many levels of it, that you're not just learning something and then and then that's it and you get a certificate of completion. I mean, you have to really, really earn it through scores. You get feedback. You're in constant connection with trainers, all of that. Versus, so you're learning it, you're applying it in your real life, you're coming back, you're reporting on it, getting feedback from your trainers and moving on. And you don't move on because it's a self-paced course. You don't move on until you feel like you've really understood it and the trainers have said, okay, you can move on. Versus, say, learning this in a box in a classroom, right? A real physical classroom. You go there for 7 to 10 days. You learn it, and everybody around you, they all know it too, and that's it. And you're supposed to go home and apply it to everything, your business, your life, all of that. And I don't think that's so effective. And so we've tried to create our platform and our training style in a way where you're always integrating it every step of the way. And I think that's where it becomes successful.
Yeah, I love that, because it's like the old saying, you learn by repetition. So if you're actually doing it, no hit on Tony Robbins, but it seems like there's a lot of people that go, see Tony Robbins in one of these, mega shows that he does, and people get excited and inspired. But like you said, that's kind of the magical, to me, that's like kind of the magical thing.
Well,
you have actual formulas and proven strategies that you're teaching.
Yeah, exactly. And with Tony Robbins, that is NLP that he's teaching. He just doesn't call it NLP so much. Okay. And he kind of gives a new spin on it. But we get a lot of his students come to us to really learn the foundation and to learn the real, because he does teach it in kind of a different, in kind of the outside way versus let's go through and really learn the foundations. And so we teach the foundations.
So have you, and you don't have to answer this, have you guys ever had somebody like, famous or somebody come in, movie stars, athletes, something like that are really looking to reprogram themselves for success? We do. And generally those people do our more one-to-one trainings with us, where it's more, we guide them through it versus them working on their own in the online format and participating maybe with all the other students. They're not so much into that. And we do more like coaching around it and all of that. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your courses. Now, obviously you're using WP Courseware. So how many courses are you running at any given time, and how many students would you say are enrolled into all of your courses at any given time?
Right. So we have our practitioner, our master, our combo, which combines those, our life coach training, which combines those also with a life coach training. We have hypnosis. We have NLP for sales, because NLP is excellent for sales.
Oh, wow.
Of course on that. And And then we have some additional courses, inner dynamics, some things like that, some kind of separate courses. But our main stuff is really our practitioner, our master practitioner for NLP, and our life coach training. Those are our big ones. We have we get about 60 new students a month. It's ongoing. We have live sessions so they can, in our Zoom classrooms, so they can just attend and just get right into the flow of everything. There's no start, stop dates. And they always have access to their material. And so we have about 60 new students a month. I would say actively participating. If I go on, because I use some, chat software where I can see what everybody's doing all the time. There's always around 20 people online working on their course at a time.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty good, and
yeah.
And we've made some changes. Thanks to your software as well. We've made some changes that really do help them work through the course a lot quicker, and not get stuck. A big part of online training, as most people know, is having that motivation to keep going and get through it. And say our life coach training, which is our most popular course that people enroll in, that's about a 200-hour course.
Wow. Okay.
So, they should take probably about 6 months to complete it, depending on how quickly they want to work. Again, there's no stops. They can keep working. They just have to get through it.
Just gotta get through it.
But yeah, that's kind of how it is. About 60 new students each month, and with the WP courseware, it really has helped them working through it. Because it used to be we had manuals. We worked in a software, another course software,
right?
But it wasn't as user-friendly, so I didn't want to build out all the individual units in actual pages. So instead I did manuals and then had maybe the videos, audios on pages that they'd work in. But now with yours, I put it all in it. So we don't even use printed manuals anymore at all. They can print out a page, but everything is online. So it keeps them going through it so much more smoothly.
Cool. So that kind of leads me to my next question. So it sounds like you're using video, sounds like maybe using audio, no downloadable study guides. It sounds like those manuals aren't downloadable anymore. And then are you using quizzes?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we don't use quizzes like a quiz like we know a quiz to be. We do it more as submissions. So they create a report based on their offline assignments that they have to complete.
Okay.
And then we have a whole format they have to follow. And then they submit there in the the open-ended questions, open-ended answers.
Oh, okay.
They submit it in there, we grade it, and they get their score on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's personal. So wow. So you're probably grading quite a bit of stuff. I mean,
We are. There's nothing very automated about it.
Right. Okay.
We can have that, and maybe on courses that aren't certification level courses, we could have things that are more automated. But if we're issuing a certificate, we really want to make sure that they understand what they're doing. And we can't see them in person necessarily doing these things. So we had to create our reports where they can really explain how they've done stuff, so we can get a feeling that they understand what they're doing.
Okay.
On these techniques.
Yeah, no, and that makes total sense. I mean, something like this or a course like this, you really have to have that personal touch and that interaction, because that course is really based on that. It's based on that growth.
Well, and especially when you're coming from, it's never been taught online before kind of an attitude.
Right.
So you have to create, like I was saying in the beginning, you have to create that in-person training environment and feeling, but with the flexibility of being an online training. And so that's our whole thing is, that effectiveness, but within the flexibility of your life.
Right.
Because most of our students are transitioning from other careers. They don't have time. They have lives. They don't have time to go and spend 10 days somewhere. So we want to make it as flexible where they can transition the way they need to.
Yeah. That's helpful. Yeah. I know like when I was first starting off with online business, I would listen to podcasts on the way home from work, or, I would, just immerse myself in that kind of learning. But that was the only time I had to do it. In my car, I had an hour commute, so.
Yeah.
That's very true. How you have to really fit that into people's lives. So how are you guys? You mentioned you're doing video. How are you guys recording your video? Are you guys using the DSLR? Are you guys using maybe just an iPhone? How are you guys recording?
Actually, a lot of our videos are from just on our Macs with our
just a video. Okay.
Those were pretty good. So
yeah.
a lot of our videos done that way. We don't do these big budget things, we try to, we keep our prices really low in our school because we
Sure.
are international. We have students in over 70 countries who are
Wow.
all using this. And so we need to keep our prices very affordable depending on whatever currency people are in. And people are transitioning from careers. They don't have $10,000, which is typical for a life coach training to cost. They don't have that to invest,
Right.
and it takes about 2 years to really get your business going anyways after that. So we try to keep all of our expenses very low so that we can afford then to, we can afford to keep our courses inexpensive for our students.
Gotcha.
So we do our audio, we do our video, and then our live sessions are held in Zoom classrooms.
Okay. So when you guys record your video using your Mac, are you using any type of teleprompting software? How are you guys, is it like a talking head, or is it more like you're kind of showing something on screen, like screen recording?
No, it's mostly demonstrations. So it would be like a demonstration of a coach or coaching or a therapy session.
Oh, okay.
But taking a person through those steps. So they're demonstration videos, I guess.
I see. Okay. Okay, cool. So one cool thing that I noticed, I was kind of poking around your website yesterday, and I noticed that your courses are accredited. That's really cool. Like, so tell me a little bit about that process.
It really depends on who you're getting accredited by.
Okay,
so,
right.
In the life coach world, it's ICF, International Coach Federation, is a big one, and they have a lot of hoops to jump through. So we create some of our courses knowing we want to get accredited by them. There's other things like California Association of Professional or Marriage and Family Therapists. That is a whole different aspect of a whole different type of accreditation and so on. But our goal is to get accredited by as many organizations as we can, because it just really gives a lot of credibility in it. And it tells people that our courses are up to a certain standard, because they have to be approved by those agencies. They have to include certain things. They have to be held accountable. They have to, all of that. So we have to report back to those organizations each year or whenever the, renewal is. And so those are really important. We're always looking for new accrediting organizations to work with.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's really beneficial for your students too, that are going to become teachers for NLP, because now that gives them a little bit more weight, I guess, or
it does. Well, yeah, and actually we've just expanded. Just this past month, we opened or launched our Italy, our iNLPcenter.org, it.inlpcenter.org.
Oh, wow.
So it's all in Italian. All of courses, we translated them, everything, all the videos, everything into Italian. One of our trainers, we're having her do that. We have Portuguese starting right now as well for Brazil, Brazilian Portuguese, and we'll have our Spanish. So that's how we're also expanding out. And so with that, because our courses are accredited, as long as our courses are the same courses, they're accredited for everywhere. So that's kind of the beauty of those accreditations, is it passes through to all these other locations as well. And then when our trainers who train through us teach our material in person, they're also able then to accredit those students, their students, with those accreditations.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. You mentioned earlier, that you use like a chat software or something, that you're kind of looking to see who's online. So how does that look like for student community engagement? Like, are you using just that chat software, or how are the students engaging online?
Yeah. So without giving away all of my secret sauce formulas, we use Lucky Orange, and that's what we use just for, customer service, student support. So, whether it is somebody inquiring about a course, or whether it's our students saying, oh, I'm not sure how to do this, or can you help me with this, or I don't have my password, those kinds of things, all those little detail things.
Sure.
We have that on all the time. Again, if I'm not on, when my computer's open, my chat's on. That's kind of how I do it. So, and I like to do it myself, because I'm the only person that really knows how to do everything. So, so that's what I do, unfortunately. That's what I do. And then we also have a private student Facebook group, and that's where all of our students connect in there and in the live sessions. But that's where they connect. That's where they work out times to practice with each other, and that's kind of more our community area is our private student Facebook.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's funny. I just took an online course here a couple weeks ago, and that seems to be kind of the standard now. People are using Facebook private groups to build that engagement, and it's pretty cool. I do like it. I think the only thing I find difficult is that sometimes when you or somebody else posts something that's kind of like some pertinent information, and the feed actually goes down because more people are posting, it's kind of hard to go back and find that information. But aside from that, it's really great for engagement, networking. It's funny, Nate and I mentioned a little while ago that we were taking an online course together back in 2011, and we met in a forum. So I think student engagement is very important for networking and just for masterminding and thought process and that sort of thing. So that's really cool that you're doing that with Facebook groups.
And the fun part too is that a lot of our students, then they start little like WhatsApp groups and all these, they'll form these little, I guess, study groups together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. It's really provided a really great community. The Facebook private page. Yeah.
That's cool. So the question that everyone wants to know, obviously, since you've achieved great success, obviously with your courses, what does the income look like for your business?
It's this year we should be around 700.
Wow.
That's just online. That's wake up and have money.
Yeah, I love that. It's funny.
But I will tell you, it's a lot of work. So, I mean, I work probably a good 12 to 15 hours a day. I have forever. So,
wow.
And it is, I mean, the danger, right, I guess, of the trade-off of whatever, of having an online business, as you know, is you're going to keep doing anything you can to improve and improve and improve and improve. And every time you improve, you make more money. You improve more, make more money, and so on. Add more course, add another course on. Okay, that brings this up, and so on.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work.
Well, and what's cool, I mean, you hear about, a lot of these people talking about passive income, and it's passive to an extent, but there, like you said, there's still a lot of work involved. But the really cool thing is, once you build an online course and you launch it, it's not like you have to keep producing that course every day, or you create it one time. Yeah, you're not trading your time for dollars, and so that's the beauty of it. Plus, you're flexible. Obviously, you can work anywhere since you're online.
I can. Yep.
So there's definitely some benefits. But wow, that's a lot of hours still. 12 to 15. You are dedicated.
And that's not every day. I mean, when that's working on projects. But when we switched over to your software from the other, that was more than 15 hours a day of work for me for probably about 3 or 4 months straight.
Wow.
Because that was a big switch.
Yeah.
And I really, 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 really like your software. And I'll tell you, I'm just going to say, I mean, we've gone through different software. Our school has changed. I'm really happy where it is now with the platform, and everybody else's, all the students who switched from one to the other, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. Everybody's so happy because we had to switch all the students over. But that means they had to start their courses from scratch. They had to start from the beginning. And they could put their grades in and all that, but they had to, everybody kind of had to go through it together. And but everybody's so happy. And I do our new student orientations a couple times a week, and to show everybody how to use the platform, any of the new students. And there's almost nothing to say because it's so user friendly, And so between your connection with WooCommerce, so we use WooCommerce and we use Yith to customize the WooCommerce. And those are our three. Yours, WooCommerce, and Yith are kind of our main
core,
plugins. And then we have all the little customizing stuff on top of that.
Sure.
But those three together, awesome, just awesome. And I mean, it's so simple for our students, so simple. And your software is great. And I mean, we're building it out in our other languages, everything, and our trainers getting right on. And especially this new update you just had, where you could now work, click on the units within it, the course builder thing.
Yep.
Really great. Oh my gosh. Really, 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 really great. And I'll say, I mean, when I was going to switch over, when we decided to switch for this last April, we switched everything over. When we decided to do that, I mean, I went through every single, I'm really tenacious about stuff, and I'm really, really picky about exactly what I'm looking for. And I went through every single course software program, LMS, all that. I went through, from Canvas to the all those Sensei stuff, all that stuff. I mean, everything I could find. I tested. I bought it. I tested it. I tried to build in it. If I didn't like how it was building, forget it. And I went through everything, and yours was absolutely the best that I could find. Absolutely the best.
Wow, I'm completely blown away. Thank you so much for those kind words. And I gotta say, I mean, honestly, like, it makes me feel really good that you are successful with our software, because that's our goal. I mean, I've said it on our YouTube channel, and it may sound cliche, but honestly, at the end of the day, if you're successful, I'm successful. And so that's, to me, that's just, wow, I'm blown away.
What I like about it is it's based on WordPress, so you're working within the WordPress format, but it doesn't look like some of those other ones that are based in the WordPress format where you're like, wait, I don't even know what to click on. It's so nice and organized. And it's also really customizable too. And because as a designer, I'm a little picky. And as you know, because I've been emailing you back and forth about things and you're really responsive. But I'm really picky about just certain design elements and things like that. And it actually is really easy to edit and adjust and, code. And I have to do a lot of that, and it's really easy when I have something special that I want to change. Although I haven't found anything significant, but just little teeny things.
Sure.
It's really user-friendly.
Send them over. We'll fix that. One of the goals we had this year was we really wanted to focus on our user interface within the admin screens, and we're still not quite done yet. We have a few more things to go, but we're still working at it. We're chipping away at it. We still have quite a bit in store. We want to make it even better, and that's just our goal. So, thank you again for the kind words. I really do appreciate that. So what you said you have a background in design, you also have a background in marketing. So what are you doing for marketing? You doing Facebook ads, social media, email lists? What are you doing?
Oh yeah, we're really good at SEO. My husband, that was his big focus, was SEO. In 2011, you could still do some of those black hat things, and that kind of put us on the map for NLP. We were number one immediately for it, and that's a really hard thing to be number one for. And then a couple years later, they changed some stuff. And we dropped, but there were still other terms because we're a unique niche. Some of our other terms, especially with the online, we just hit those out of the park. And 90% of our sales just come from organic searches.
Wow,
which is awesome.
That is very awesome.
That's awesome. So we don't have to do a whole lot of other stuff. It really is just about building the backlinks, keeping our organic our rankings where they need to be. That's a lot of our marketing. The rest is, a little bit of Google AdWords, not too much. I don't see a whole lot of return on those personally because we're already ranking really well for those.
Sure.
And unfortunately, our students will click on it to get to our site first. I want to send something out saying, please don't click on it. But we do some Facebook advertising.
Okay.
And just posting, guest posting, a lot of guest posting. But it's pretty much 90% organic.
Wow. So you guys are guest posting. I didn't check. Do you guys have a blog? Are you guys posting quite a bit of content?
We have our own, we have a blog on our site.
Okay.
We have a lot in there. We don't do a whole lot in there. But we found a lot of that doesn't really bring in the people that are interested. It's more personal development people.
Okay.
Blog for like Psych Central and some of those other websites. But that more brings in the public, more like public people versus people who want more like, instead of business to business, I guess, people who want to become coaches and all of that. So you have to be really specific to blog in your niche areas and not, and otherwise we'll get a lot of people, tons of people on our site who just want some self-help, versus people who want to train.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's part of what happened back when you said that there was an algorithm change with Google. And I think that's kind of what happened back then. They were looking for, not the black hat SEO things that people were doing, not these,
wanted those real connections.
Yeah, these little one paragraph, blog posts on some site with keywords. They want something that actually was relevant to what people were searching for. So I think that's why your guest posts are helping and all that. And that's really cool that you guys have focused on SEO. That's
you have to.
It's not easy. SEO is not easy, especially if you are in a crowded niche. And it sounds like NLP is pretty popular. So that's cool. Kudos to you guys for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's on site. And that's what we teach our coaches as well. We have our business builder programs, all of that, where we create their websites for them and teach them. I actually teach them how to do their online marketing.
Oh, wow.
Because you don't rank unless you know how to do your SEO. So.
And at the end of the day, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And unless you have like some kind of crazy email list or, a huge following on some social media channel. Yeah,
we have all that as well. And it, we do. We have tons of signups on our site for all of those, but it really is just the organic searches. So.
Yeah. So what's one struggle you've encountered with online business or online courses, and how did you overcome it?
Hmm. Well, the big one was the first that we talked about already, which was, is this really a way you can learn this? Is it effective?
Yeah.
And how we really had to combat that was through accreditations.
Okay.
And testimonials and those
Yeah.
kinds of things. We started our business, we started it after the recession, so we didn't have that to deal with. We have monthly payment plans, so that helps people. You want your pricing to be a little bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right. So, you do have to, but a lot of it is, and that is also hurts us as well. And that's the truth. I mean, we are really affordable, but we're so much more affordable than our competitors, that then people are like, well, something has to be wrong here.
Yep.
So then so that's a little bit of that stuff where you have to go, okay, how do I go one way, but also go the other way? And, it's really just kind of adjusting, and finding that, and finding enough, you got to provide enough credibility.
Yeah.
That you're basically, my whole goal is to answer everybody's question some way.
Yeah.
Everybody's hesitation. I believe in what we're doing in our courses 100%. So it's not hard to sell. I'm certainly not about a bait and switch or anything like that, because I don't need to. It's all really high integrity, and I want to make sure that people really understand how much we care and how much we want to help them, so.
Well, and it sounds to me like you authentically want to help people, because I'm sure your courses are worth probably more than you're selling them for. So if you were to raise your prices, let's just say you raised your prices, and you would still have probably you would probably sell the same amount of income worth in your courses, but you would have less students, obviously. So it sounds like you're really trying to help out more students and more people. So I think that's really cool. I think that's cool, because it's hard to pick a price. It's really hard to pick a price point, especially when it comes to courses like the one I just took a couple of weeks ago that I was talking about. I paid prime money for that. I mean, I paid a lot of money for it. I probably could have paid a lot less for somewhere else, but I know the guy that was teaching it, and I followed him for years, and I know he's good. So I went ahead and took the dive and took it. But I can guarantee you that he didn't have nearly as many as enrollments as the other guy who was teaching the same thing. But,
how many people do you want to reach? And it's funny, because we'll get people who want to, marketing people that come and they want to tell us how to do everything. And I'm like, no, because they'll be like, oh, you need to charge $5,000 for this and this and this. And you're like,
right.
I don't want to do that. Our whole thing is, we want to live at the level we live at, the lifestyle we live at. And we aren't greedy. I mean, there's, you figure out where you're comfortable at, and you make it work. And I don't, I'd rather invest. If I'm going to charge more, it's because I want to grow our business and invest more and add on new languages and add on this stuff. Not because, we can make so much more money if we add on languages, but, we can really reach out to a much larger group of people and really connect. Because it's so amazing when a person does, say they just do one of the assignments in their training, just one, and you read you read how it went, what the response, how the person they worked with as their volunteer, reacted, what changes, what new awarenesses. It's like, that makes a difference in that person's life. And that's amazing. I mean, one little assignment that they're doing from our course can change a person's life. And that's where you get so much out of it. Forget the money, forget all that. You get so much out of it when you really know that you're really making a difference.
Yeah. And I feel like that's just kind of a general thing for online business. If you're authentically trying to help people, I think you're going to do just fine. It doesn't matter what level you start at. If you're just really authentic with people and trying to help them, I think you're going to be very successful. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And when people call and they'll say, one of the top questions, so can you tell me, why are your courses so much less? And I'm like, because they don't need to be higher. I mean, they just don't need to be, and it's just like, and they appreciate that. Once they talk and they hear it, this is for real, they really appreciate that. But, so that's kind of it. But pricing, really, really critical with your online courses. A lot of people think, I'm going to put an online course out and make, thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars and whatever. And, it has to be good. And you have to really, really research your pricing. You have to really, really research that and get it right. And it's going to take adjusting, and figuring out where is that little spot that's just right,
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you guys are providing so much value. I mean, you guys are working with them on a personal level. You've got the accreditation. So there's a lot of value that you're adding into your course that could probably be worth a lot more, but it's really cool because you just want to help people. I love it.
and our students keep taking more courses. I mean, they keep moving, they want to progress and keep going up the, the levels of what we offer, and that says something, that they want to keep taking courses with us.
Well, yeah. It's that student retention. That's really cool, because now they're going to continue purchasing courses from you because they know the value that you add to your courses. Right. So here's my last question for you. If there was one tip that you could just share with our audience, what would it be? Any tip whatsoever?
You should have sent me this list of questions ahead of time. Gosh, that's really something I have to think about.
Yeah.
I've said a bunch of tips. Maybe we can just count those.
Well, I think you've already said this one already. Honestly, just from what I've gathered in the entire interview, it sounds like you just authentically care about people. You love teaching, and you want to see people be successful. And I think that's probably what.
And you know what though? One of my main areas of what I do, because I kind of do all of the back end, is really the user experience. And, the whole UX thing, which is a nice user I didn't even realize until I read that term. So I'm like, oh, that's what I do. So that's cool. I'm kind of cool. Anyways, that's really what it is. And it's really going, what would I want to feel like? What would I want my experience to be? And that's what I want to create for the other people. And so, whether you're going to just, put a course up, online, what kind of experience are you expecting people to have? Because that's going to make all the difference. The whole sales process should be a certain experience.
Yep.
They should feel confident. They should feel this. They should, all of that. And so really, really, really taking into consideration, not just, okay, finally I got my course done. I don't have to think about it anymore. That's not what it is. It's constantly improving that user's experience so they feel how you want them to feel when they take your course.
Very cool. Well, Hope, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out today, talk shop. It was an awesome interview. And thank you all for watching. Please do me a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of these super helpful interviews. And thank you for watching.
Thank you.